Hi, my name is Lida Espíndola. I'm from Mexico. I will talk about the future of the relationship between Pakistan and India. In 1903, Muhammad Iqbal, a well-known Muslim politician and poet, proposed the political and spiritual revival of Islamic civilization, delivered the presidential address in which he made the famous statement that Muslims in northwestern India should demand the status of separate state, a country that is ruled by Islam. Pakistan, which meant the land of the pure, is where the two-nation theory arose, which in its simplest forms meant that cultural, political, religious, economic, and social differences between Hindus and Muslims of the Indian subcontinent are irreconcilable, differences that give rise to two different political ideologies that originate the partition of India into two independent states. Muhammad Ali Jinnah achieved in 1947 the formation of two nations, and he remains in Pakistan as ruler. In his first message, he shared his vision. Quote, "The first duty of a government is to maintain law and order, so the life, the property, and religious beliefs of the people were protected by the state." Close quote. He tried to face the great problems of the new country, plunged into misery, faced India in a violent war with thousands of displaced people, Muslim minorities who left the country to enter Pakistan, and Hindu minorities who were heading to country to India. Immediately after the creation of the two nations, the conflict arose by Kashmir. The problem was because the Maratha who governed was Hindu, while the majority of the population was Muslim. In this context of uncertainty and confusion, revolts began in Kashmir with the support of Pakistan. Maharaj Ari Singh received military aid from India in exchange for agreeing to integrate the province into the Indian Union. Although the Kashmir conflict has created conflict between Pakistan and India, this conflict has left a large number of victims and violation of human rights by the Indian Army forces and the Pakistani armed groups. This conflict is not only a religious and territorial problem, since the region is a strategic point for the control of rivers and border crossing. It is also a symbol for the construction of the national identities of each country. This conflict represents a great instability for the region and the planet, due to the military career that both countries began in 1947 and which led them to become the atomic bomb in the 19th. Pakistan and India started the nuclear program under the Cold War argument and then has a mutual defense. On May 11, 1974, India achieved its first nuclear test, which was not well seen by Pakistan, as statement by his prime minister in 1965 illustrates his obsession to be on par with his neighbor. Quote, "If India develops its atomic bomb, Pakistan will still do it even if we have to eat leaves and grass or suffer from hunger." Close quote. In 1975, Abdul Qadir Khan begins the search for the knowledge needed to obtain the bomb and managed to access them and materials thanks to suppliers who agreed to violate the nuclear control laws, financed in part by the economic aid that Pakistan received from America. In 2010, the Prime Minister of India and Pakistan met on the sidelines of SAARC summits in Bhutan and agreed to normalize relations and address the lack of trust that exists between the two countries. In the past, many well-meaning efforts have failed and many will continue to do so in the future unless both sides show an unwavering commitment to stay the course and create an enabling environment to overcome the obstacles that lie in the way of peace. There is no magic solution for this to happen. However, it is up to each and every one of the parties involved to persevere with patience and dedication so that the future generation will not remain hostage of a legacy charged with political poisoning, misunderstanding, and geopolitical antagonism. The links resulting from economic interaction, connectivity between both countries and from person to person could build the sinews of a more lasting peace in which the stakeholders have a great motivation to preserve the benefits of a mutually beneficial relationship. The different international politic actors can play an important role in the rapprochement of these two nations without the desire to align them with particular interests. Using China could be a catalyst in realizing the dream of helping to have an atmosphere of peace and friendship between Pakistan and India. It is difficult to conceive the relationship of both without thinking about the conflict for Kashmir. But if the leaders and activists of both nations have begun to see the convenience of living in an adequate atmosphere that allows a mutual growth, this could be the point of convergence to find a solution to it and avoid escalation of violence by any of the two neighbors, especially for Kashmir. Various activist groups have taken initiatives so that at the person-to-person level there has been interaction in different environments with some success. However, without government support, it will be very difficult for both nations to fight their differences, which over time they have been maximizing and have been reflected at different times with escalation of violence, especially in Kashmir. But actions such as Kartarpur Corridor, when the inhabitants of this Pakistan town called Kartarpur, which is 2 miles away from the border, allowed the Hindu neighbors to visit without a visa a sanctuary to which they had not been able to go since the partition of both countries in 1947. It could serve as an example of how both societies can help each other despite their religious, cultural differences and others that some have insisted on trying to make them irreconcilable. The willingness to respect and help the Pakistanis in Kartarpur to their Hindu neighbors to fulfill their religion's beliefs is a clear example of how these and other initiatives can reconcile what has been so long in a state of estrangement. I conclude that the relations between Pakistan and India can be improved based on a joint work of action that fosters trust between one and the other. The differences between both nations are not totally reconcilable, and to the extent that the rights of both nations can be respected, the elements that contribute to a regional peace and cooperation that help these neighbors to try to improve the situation of their fellow citizens and not be on the defensive expecting to see what is the opposite is doing to replicate their action. Putting the whole war in tension, but if someone does an irresponsible action with its nuclear arsenal and see if the other responds. I believe the international community can have an important role to play in its coupling of nations, as long as they put their interests first and put their tools at the service of improving the Indo-Pakistani relationship. Thank you for watching my presentation.